Probably should have muted this first. Hi. Oh, hello everybody. Give me 1 second. There we go. Hello once again, my beautiful people. It is I, Cassini, or Irksome Empress, and welcome to the next stream, I guess. It certainly has been a while. I do apologize. It's been about 2 weeks since I've last done a stream. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this down just a smidge, just so you guys can hear me a little better. It's been about 2 weeks since I've last done a stream. I do want to apologize for that. Unfortunately, for those of you who may or may not know, I unfortunately suffer from a condition, or at least suspected, I should say. I haven't had any formal diagnoses yet. But I suspect I suffer from a condition called long COVID. You've probably heard it in the news. And what this condition entails is a lot of things, but one of the things it includes is things like chronic fatigue and like chronic pain, which is unfortunately really hard to deal with, especially like brain fog. So unfortunately, because of like the semester starting, so I'm like exercising a lot more than I was over the summer. Excuse me. So because, you know, I have to walk around campus and, you know, I don't drive, so I have to, like, sometimes walk back to my apartment or, you know, walk to, like, other places. You know, I try to walk as much as I can because fuck cars. Okay, let's do video games. I'm gonna just skip this. Unfortunately, this has been putting a lot more strain on my body, and so because of that... excuse me. Allergies. Unfortunately, because of that, it's been really hard for me to want to stream. So, like, last week, for example, I could barely even get out of bed. It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, I was in so much pain. My brain felt like it wasn't functioning. It was awful. So, yeah, so let this be a reminder to you guys to go get your vaccines. I know I need to. Not only that, but oh yeah, I forgot we don't have the doorbell. Another thing that makes it even worse is that, again, not formally diagnosed as of right now, but it wouldn't surprise me. I may have also developed, as part of the long COVID, I may have developed POTS. I'm not 100% sure yet, since just because, like I said, I haven't actually gone to see a doctor about this. I do have a doctor's appointment for December. I know. School, and you have to make these, like, months in advance. I should have gone a lot sooner, but oh well. But yeah, anyway, so... I suspect I might also have POTS. Again, nothing's confirmed, but... For those of you who are unaware of what POTS is, it is a condition that's short for postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So it is a condition where, actually I guess I should explain like what the orthostatic portion means, because that's like a big part of it. So when you go from like sitting or lying down especially to standing, all of that blood is gonna hang out in your legs. So all the blood you have in your body is gonna hang out in your legs because of just the way gravity works. And so when you stand up, especially from when you're going from lying down to standing up, your heart has to beat faster in order to get that blood back up to your brain. Your brain very much needs as much oxygen as it can get, so obviously you'll need all that blood and stuff. So it's pretty normal for your heart to beat faster when you first stand up, man. So the problem is, like, eventually your heart rate should drop back down to about whatever its resting heart rate is, unless you're actively exercising, but yeah. So, the problem is with POTS is that when you go from, like, different positions and stuff, when you move from different positions, so you go from, like, that sitting to standing up, or lying down to sitting to standing up, your heart rate can't really readjust very well. So basically you end up getting really dizzy and you get tired. Things like exercising is a lot harder. yeah, it's not fun to do. Now, here's what's interesting. So, I suspect I might have POTS. However, I've noticed my heart rate hasn't actually been all that high. I mean, I'm pretty short. Like, I'm as short as a stormtrooper. So, or no, that's not the right quote. It should be, I'm short. I can't remember this. I was trying to quote cynical reviews. Anyway, I'm pretty short. So my heart rate naturally is going to be high either way. I mean, I'm only 4'10", so I'm gonna naturally have a higher resting heart rate. However, I've actually noticed my heart rate's been going down. And the way I'm checking this, I have an Apple Watch, so my heart rate's actually been going down, although I do have some moments where it kind of goes a little nuts. So the thing is that in order to qualify for having a tachycardia diagnosis, whether it be POTS or something else, your heart rate needs to be at minimum 100 BPM while resting. Mine varies. Like, it's usually around like the 90 to 100 range, which isn't quite high enough to technically qualify for POTS, so that's why I'm a little wondering. So that's why I'm a little curious about that, so... However, and I also just recently learned that, I can't words today, chronic fatigue syndrome, which is basically what long COVID kind of is, at least the version I have, also has symptoms of orthostatic intolerance. So it's possible it could just be that. Again, I'm not saying I have anything. I also just realized I forgot to buy the doorbell. Damn it. Oh well. I'm not saying I formally have POTS or anything, I just suspect that I do, and I've had, like, 3 people ask, hey, you have, like, POTS or something? Including my own roommate. But like I said, nothing is confirmed or denied for that matter, so, but yeah, anyway, extremely long story short, that has been why I haven't really been streaming very consistently as of late, is just because I've been way too exhausted to stream, so... yeah. And the reason I'm not on camera is I was actually running quite late today. So, I don't drive because, well, one, I'm too scared but also fuck cars. But yeah, also fuck cars and car culture, so not everybody should be allowed on the road. So I take the shuttles for my school, because my school fortunately provides shuttles for free to any student. And it's great, you know, so there's even a shuttle that will take you to the shopping center, and in the shopping center there is the Target. Well, one of the Targets. There's 2 of them, but I go to that one. Anyway, well, the problem is the shuttles can sometimes be kind of unreliable. That, or just, like, they can be early, they can be late. I tend to get the timing wrong a lot, because I'm not as familiar with that route, so... So the thing is that, like, for me to go to Target, or if I want to go, like, Ollie's, because it's in the same shopping center, I would essentially have to, like, take a different shuttle to school, which I do 5 days a week, well, 10 days a week, no, 5 days a week, 10 times a week, God. I'd have to take my usual shuttle to and from school, so take that to school, and then take a different shuttle to the Target, which is, like, the last stop it has. And then I do my Target shopping, and then, especially because I go on Fridays, it tends to be kind of a madhouse, because Fridays are, like, the worst time to go shopping, I know, but, like, that's really the only day I can go, because the shuttles don't run on weekends. At least the off-campus shuttles don't. Anyway, well, so I have to take the shuttle to Target, do my shopping, which usually takes an hour because people are so goddamn slow, and block up the aisles, and it's annoying. And then, balls. Oh well. Then from there, I have to, like, carry my haul back to the shuttle stop, wait for the shuttle, and then I have to take that shuttle back to campus, and then take my usual shuttle back to the apartment. It's a lot. It is so much. But it does work, and if I don't have to drive or walk places like that, then I'll take it. Like, I'll take it. But it can be pretty inconvenient. And also, what didn't help is I had barely even eaten today. So, before I went to Target, I went to this, like, what my school called its Gay Day, with their, like, with game being spelled G-A, and then there was like a Y and apostrophe. Not apostrophe. What are they called? It's not apostrophes, it's, parentheses. That's it, parentheses. It's been a long day. With, in parentheses, you have the little Y, and then M-E, so. And, so yeah, we were having, like, a little queer game day, and I wanted to go stop at that before my first and only class, which is chemistry on Fridays. And I popped in, they had snacks, so the only thing I had to eat prior to getting home at about 5:15, and this was at about 10:30 a.m., was a small bag of Doritos, 2 sugar, like, store-bought sugar cookies, and a bag of fruit snacks. And that's, like, all I've eaten. And I had a cup of soda. And that was it. That's, like, all I had eaten. So when I got home, I was starving. Because I hadn't eaten anything until about 5:30, and I just made, like, a cup of noodles. Like, one of those, like, cup-o noodles, as well as I got a thing of Pringles. And, get this. I also managed to snag a 6-pack of the Oreo-flavored Cokes and a packet of the Coke-flavored Oreos. And I tried some of those. I know, I've eaten so horribly today, but fuck it. I'm allowed a cheat day, it's fine. I've been eating pretty good for the last couple days. Just, you know, trying to eat a little healthier, so I've been trying to, like, add more vegetables. I've been doing a lot more soup since the weather is supposed to be getting colder. I even tried kimchi for the first time, which I actually shockingly like kimchi. But yeah, so I'm allowed to have, like, a bad day every so often. But anyway, so as for the Oreo stuff, the Oreo and Coke things. So the Coke, I was actually expecting to be a lot grosser. I've actually tried just about every flavor of the Coke Creations as of now. And so I've kind of expected some pretty garbo flavors, to be honest. With probably the grossest flavor that I've tried so far has got to be the... Oh, what was it? Was it the... It was... Hold on a sec. I gotta look this up. I can't remember what it's called. It was like... I think it had the word dream in it. Hold on. The hell? Hold on a sec. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna need to bump out just real quick. Sorry about that. I thought I heard one of my roommate's cats freaking out. I'm on cat sitting duty again, so I gotta keep an eye on them. So, especially Leo, the big orange one. He's quite a mischievous little guy. Anyway, so as I was saying, I was looking up the Coke Creations here. Anyway, one of the Coke Creations I tried... I'm trying to remember what it was. It was gross. It was actually disgusting. And I'm trying to remember which one it was. I can taste it, but I can't remember, like, the name of it. It was gross. It was very gross. Give me a sec. I can't remember what it was called, but it was nasty. No, it wasn't Y3000. It was, I think, the one before that. It was, like, Dream something. And it was gross. It was actually quite gross. Dream World, that was it. I tried the Dream World one. And you want to know what it tasted like? It tasted like regular Coke. But if you've ever had Twisted Tropics, like Trident? Or Tropical Twist, that's it. Tropical Twist Trident gum. It tasted like if you put like a giant wad of that in Coke. It was about as disgusting as it sounds. But yeah, as to where the Oreo one stacks up, it was okay. Supposedly it's supposed to taste like Oreo cookies. So like a chocolate and vanilla kind of deal. I didn't really get a lot of the chocolate. You know, I tried it and it tasted like vanilla Coke. Which, don't get me wrong, I actually quite like vanilla Coke. But that's what it tasted like, is just straight up vanilla Coke with maybe a little bit of almost like a burnt flavor to it. But yeah, I mean, it didn't really taste that much like anything Oreo related. It was alright, you know? I can see myself finishing off the rest of the cans. And again, I was expecting it to be a lot worse, but it's okay. And then I did also try the Coke flavored Oreos, and those actually tasted a lot more like Coke. So they had like 2 different flavors of cookies, and then the standard Oreo cream in the middle. So one was your regular chocolate Oreo cookie. You know, we all know it, we all love it, whatever. But then there was this red cookie on the bottom, and it was Coke flavored. And yeah, it actually kind of tasted, maybe not necessarily like Coke, but like, if you know like that artificial cola flavor that they use for like candies, so think like the Haribo Happy Colas, for example, it tasted a lot like that. And again, it wasn't bad, but you know, like, it definitely tasted a lot more like Coke. Pretty much what I expected, except, well, actually no. Because honestly, what I was expecting was just regular Oreo cookies, and then the filling was like a cola flavor. Kind of like what they've done with a lot of their other flavors. But no, it was like one side was Coke flavored, one side was like regular Oreo flavored. Interesting. It wasn't bad. It was not bad. But yeah, anyway, that's why I was late, is because I needed to eat. Pups gotta eat. Pups gotta eat. But yeah, so, pies. Oh, ding dong. I totally burnt my mouth too. I just made like a cup of noodles for dinner, and like, I seriously burnt the shit out of my mouth trying to eat those, because I'm like, shit, I'm on stream, I gotta start streaming, especially because I have to end, you know, I have to make sure I, you know, end the stream by about 6:50, because I have a Discord meeting to attend. And like, my mouth was like seriously on fire. Like, I was just scarfing down these noodles, partially because I gotta get the stream going, but also partially because I was starving and I burnt my mouth, and now my mouth is all numb. Yay, I did a dumb. I did such a dumb. Oh well, it was my own damn fault. Oh, jeez, anyway. So, what else is going on here? I don't know. I don't know. The only other thing, like, that's really happening other than school being college is, I finally upgraded to iOS 18. And, yeah, I've been trying that out, and I mean, it's been fine. I appreciate Apple finally giving users more customization options, for better or for worse, but my god, that Photos app was bleh. I had to redo it, because I had to, like, customize it, because I'm like, what is happening? There's so much going on. But yeah, I mean, like, other than that, nothing has really been happening. Ooh, special recipe. Nothing overly exciting has been going on. Like I said, today this weekend I'm kind of on cat sitting duty. So, roommate's going out for a party, so I'm on the cat sitting duty, so I gotta keep an eye on the boys. It's probably, if you follow me on, like, TikTok, you've probably seen them. Like, either TikTok or Instagram. Actually, that's another thing, is, if you look at my posts that I made last week concerning my stream, I actually did post a picture of the other cat she has, Berlioz, aka Bear. Yes, he was named after the cat from the Aristocats, even though I told her that Berlioz from the Aristocats is a tuxedo and he's all black, but whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I posted a picture of him. But yeah, the big orange one who's also showed up in a few posts on like my TikTok and Instagram, he's the one you really gotta keep an eye on. He's just like, I basically just say he's like a toddler. He's just very high energy. He gets into things he's not supposed to. He'll eat random stuff. And he likes to fight with Bear a lot. Like, he loves to get into fights with Bear. Not like aggressive fights or anything. He gets into a lot of play fights with Bear. But the problem is there's a stark size difference between the two of them. Like, Leo is huge. Like, I don't know how long he is, but he's like 20 pounds and he's like not even overweight. He's 20 pounds. He's just big. And he kind of doesn't really understand his own strength too well, so yeah. Which is why you should probably be careful of getting bitten by him. He's buff. And then Berlioz, he's actually really tiny. For a male cat, he's real small. Me and my roommate suspect that it might have been just partially genetics, but also because he was malnourished as a kitten. So he's really tiny. He's definitely gained some weight since we've gotten him. Like, we've had him for about a year now at this point. But he's just really small. Like, he's a little guy. I want to say he's about 12 pounds, which is a little tiny for an adult male. Adult males should usually be about 15 pounds or so, depending, of course, on their size. That's about the weight of, like, a healthy adult female, which is what he's about the size of. Oh, no, he's definitely male. But he's just so tiny. And so, because of that, Leo likes to get into fights with, like, play fights with Bear. But the problem is, Leo really likes to play rough. Like, we're talking full-fledged wrestling kind of rough. But, yeah, so... But Berlioz doesn't like that. I mean, he kind of does, but he has to be, like, in the mood. And even then, Leo can still take it too far. So, you gotta be really careful about that. So, you gotta keep an eye on him. Especially because, like, Leo's ripped hair out of Bear before. So, yeah, I gotta watch them. Oh, you know something else I ended up doing? Last week or 2 weeks ago at this point? I'm trying to remember now. I think it was 2 weeks, actually. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, I actually went to go see the new Beetlejuice movie in theaters. So, I mean... So, I'm an emo kid, so basically it's written within the emo constitution that you have to be, like, obsessed with Tim Burton. And so, yeah. And I finally got a chance to watch Beetlejuice a few years ago, I want to say like 2018 or so, when I was about 16. And I absolutely loved it, you know. It has, like, that right balance of being creepy but fun. You know, almost kind of like a parody horror movie, and I really enjoyed it. Anyway, well, they released a sequel, and I was kind of both excited and also really concerned, because we all know the state of Hollywood right now. But I still wanted to go see it, especially because my dad's a huge movie fiend. Like, my dad has always been a bit of a purist when it comes to watching movies, so, like, he has always preferred going to the theaters over watching it at home. So, yeah, we had to go watch it in theaters, and get this. I ended up getting 2 commemorative cups and then one of those, like, popcorn buckets, and one of the cups I got was this really cool, like, shrunken head cup. So, you know, the guys with the shrunken heads, I got a cup and it's like one of their heads and it's really cool. Here's the problem. When I first got that cup, it was full of alcohol. I mean, it had a mixed drink in it. I don't know exactly what was in it, which is concerning. I don't know exactly what kind of drink was in it at the time. I suspected it was probably vodka-based. Kind of like a martini, but with vodka. Not a martini. A margarita, but with vodka instead of tequila. I couldn't really tell. It was really hard to tell. Either way, it was something pretty strong. So, and I still can't figure out what that drink was. It was good, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. But it was actually quite strong. And, well, if you know me, you know that I don't drink. very much. I am of legal drinking age, so it's not like... Oh, I was like, why is the audio stopped? Oh, nothing's playing. I am of legal drinking age, so don't worry, it is perfectly legal. It's just, I don't drink very much because I'm kind of like my mom in that regard, where drinking just kind of makes me feel like I'm gonna puke. I just get like a nasty headache and I feel sick if I drink, so that's why I don't drink very often. Anyway, well, this cup looks a lot smaller than it really is. It's actually quite large. Yeah, well, this cup that I estimated to be about 32 ounces, I want to say, is filled with alcohol, like some kind of really strong mixed drink. And, well, the movie is only, what, like an hour and 40 minutes or so? It's not very long. And I was, sipping through it. And my dad has a very strict no open drinks in the car rule. Just because, like, he has this really fancy-ass sports car that's, like, his baby, so he's really big on, like, spills and stuff, so... And because this cup had a straw lid... Yeah, so this cup has a straw lid, so it has a hole in the top, so it can't seal. I had to try to finish it relatively quickly so I could get back home and get to studying. Oh, Jesus, I got trashed. Like I said, I don't know what was in it, but it was strong as fuck. Let me tell you, I was drunk for the rest of the day, and I proceeded to be hungover for like the next 2 days. Ugh, worth it though. And then the other cup I got had, like, soda. I think it's about 40 ounces or so. And it had a... Oop, dropped it. Actually, I have it right next to me. And it was about 40 ounces, I want to say. And it was supposed to have this little sign on the top, but it broke. So I gotta fix it. Hey, at least I got it discounted, but I have to fix it. I just haven't yet. I need to get some, like, E6000, which is, like, some really strong, like, craft glue. So, I'm gonna grab that at some point. I should have grabbed it today because in that same shopping center as the Target, there's also a Michael's. I should have ran over and grabbed it, but oh well. But yeah, I gotta fix that. But yeah, so as for, like, the movie, my thoughts on it, I thought it was definitely better than I was expecting. It's pretty good, but it certainly isn't as good as the original. I think it kind of captures the spirit of the original. But it's, of course, not as good, you know? Like, I'd say, like, solid 7 out of 10. So, pretty good. I'd still suggest giving it a watch, but I'd say just wait until it comes out on streaming, which it should be coming out pretty soon. So. But I definitely have this concern with how well it's doing. This and Inside Out 2, I'm kind of concerned on how well they're doing. Now, I also saw Inside Out 2 in theaters and actually quite liked it, but here's the problem. My issue with movies like Inside Out 2 and Beetlejuice 2, I guess it's called Beetlejuice. Oh, I said his name 3 times. My issue with these movies doing so well is that it's just gonna reinforce this idea that people don't want to see original content. People only want to see sequels and spin-offs and, movies that are part of an established franchise. And, I mean, sure, to an extent that's the case, but what I mean by this as being, like, a bad thing is this is just going to mean that instead of coming up with some, like, unique and fun, like, films, all Hollywood's gonna put their money and effort towards is just the same movie over and over again with a different skin. That's my concern when it comes to, like, the state of Hollywood right now, I guess. Oh, and of course, like, workers being treated like shit, the high risk of AI taking jobs, stuff like that. Of course, that's a part of it as well. But I'm just saying, like, now Hollywood's just gonna put all their time, effort, and money towards things like sequels and spin-offs rather than original content. And don't get me wrong, like, not every sequel or spin-off is bad. I mean, hell, you got, like, the original Toy Story trilogy, not the 4th movie. 4th movie sucked. But, like, Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, all those movies are regarded as classics, and Toy Story 3 is often regarded as one of the best. Or, what else? I need another example, and nothing's coming to my mind. But you get the idea, is that sequels aren't inherently bad because they're part of an established franchise. It's just my concern is there's an oversaturation of sequels and spin-offs and stuff like that. There should be a mix of the two, especially if you have cliffhangers and stuff. You know, like, it's okay to have films and shows and stuff based in an established time period, but the issue is that when you're, instead of like coming up with original content and that, just shoving the original content away and only focusing on sequels and spin-offs of established franchises, especially ones that have been known to make money, yeah, it's a bit of a problem. You know? Especially because, like, again, we need some more original content, because a lot of these movies are basically just the same film over and over and over and over again, just with a different skin, you know? Or just, yeah, or just don't bring enough to the table. Definitely the worst contributor of this is Disney, like, by far. Just between, like, and not just with Disney movies, but Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars are all being dragged under as well. And again, that's my big concern with, like, Inside Out 2 especially doing so well. Again, it was a good movie, and honestly, had probably one of the most realistic depictions of a panic attack that I've seen in media, you know, coming from someone who suffers from severe anxiety, like, actual diagnosed, like, generalized anxiety disorder. Again, my concern is that now Disney is going to be pumping more money into more sequels for Pixar instead of having them come up with original ideas, and after D23, that pretty much, like, reinforced that idea, and I hate that. Like, after D23, pretty much all of the movies that were announced for Pixar's lineup for the next few years, with the exception of one of them, were all sequels. I mean, you have Incredibles 3, you have, what else was there? Toy Story 5, and I'm just like, oh god, no! Oh. I mean, I honestly didn't hate, like, Incredibles 2 as much as some people, but, like, just, we don't need an Incredibles 3. Like, oh, jeez, why? We definitely don't need a Toy Story 5. Like, absolutely no. Toy Story 4 was boring as hell. And I haven't actually watched Toy Story 3 in a while, but I remember not really liking it as a kid, but I haven't watched it in, like, 10 years, so I need to give it another shot. And then, like, what also doesn't help is there's a lot of people in a lot of Pixar's comments, like, on Instagram, who are asking for a Cars 4, and I'm like, no, stop giving them ideas. We don't need a Cars 4. Like, Cars 1 was pretty good. Cars 2 was, like, the only Pixar film I actually consider bad. And then Cars 3 was okay. You really don't need a Cars 4. Especially because, just like with Toy Story 3, Cars 3, like, wrapped up the story pretty damn well. Lightning is now retired. Damn it. Lightning McQueen is now retired and is training a new racer to fight up against everyone else. Like, we really don't need a Cars 4. I mean, we don't need a Toy Story 5. We don't need a Cars 4. We don't need an Incredibles 3. Like, all of these, we just don't need. I just die. I was kind of, also, to kind of, ooh, it's a great helper. I'm gonna just do Zara. What also doesn't help is that for Disney, they also kind of see, like, original movies as, like, too risky almost. What I mean by that is just take a look at what happened with Wish. Wish was an original movie. Like, it wasn't based on any sort of pre-existing franchise, unlike a lot of their older filmography. Unlike the rest of their filmography. Well, rest of their filmography at that point. Wish was a completely original film and did terribly. It bombed hard. Probably because it was cringe, but, like, that's the problem, is Disney is now going to see original films to be akin to, like, Wish, where they suck and they're gonna lose a ton of money. But then sequels, again, like Inside Out 2, doing super duper well, it just concerns me, is what I'm just saying. Like, and then again, what also doesn't help is just how people are being treated in the industry. I mean, lest we forget the infamous Harvey Weinstein incident, or, you know, like all of these cartoon creators who are abusing their power and being creeps, you know? It's just sad. It's sad. And, like, every couple, like, years, there's always a strike, and yet nothing gets fixed. And now to make things worse, a lot of these people are at risk for losing their jobs because of AI. And, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not, like, completely anti-AI. I think it has its place in different industries and stuff, but my concern is, like, we're gonna be taking away jobs from people. And that's bad. That's very, very bad. And yet everybody's worried about immigrants taking their jobs. I think we should be more worried about AI. So, and like, here's the thing is, I actually originally wanted to work in the animation industry. You know, being a long-time cartoon lover, and just like, you know, I wanted to, at some point, be in the animation industry. Hell, I even majored in art when I was in community college. Like, I got an associate's in generalized art for that reason, because the plan here is I was going to go to a college that, like an art college that specialized in, well, not specialized, but like that had a degree in animation. I was going to get my bachelor's in that. And then I just kind of realized that animation is just one of those things that you can just learn on your own. You don't need a degree. And I just kind of felt like I was wasting my time. Kind of glad I did. In retrospect, I'm kind of glad I bailed and switched over to bio, just because, like, not only is that industry a lot more stable, at least as of right now, that industry is a lot more stable, but also just, you know, you get treated not like shit. I mean, you can, but it's not to the same degree. It's not like in the way that, you know, oh, you have a famous person, was it 4? It's 8. That's 10. Okay. It's not like in the same way as, like, people are too afraid to say something about, like, a big name executive because they're afraid of losing their job, but rather in, you know, bio, it's just kind of more like women and, you know, AFABs aren't really respected in that industry because there's just so few of us. That kind of deal. And I'd rather deal with that than deal with, like, being too scared to say something in fear that I might, like, lose my job or have, like, this big rich guy come after me kind of deal. So, you know, and look, I'm not trying to deter anybody from being in the animation industry. Like, it can be a very rewarding industry for some people. It's just, I don't know, I just kind of felt like I was wasting my time with my degree, because I'd rather pursue something that you need to have a college degree for rather than something you can learn on your own. As well as the fact that, again, the industry was just kind of falling apart with the rise of, like, AI and stuff like that, so I just kind of bounced when I could. And again, I'm not trying to, like, discourage anybody from doing an art, doing an art major or anything. Like, if you want to be in the animation industry, if you want to major in art, that's great. I'm just saying, like, be wary. Huh? What happened? Why did I only get a 59? Hold on. Did I miss something? Oh. Oops. I forgot the almonds. Pecans. They're not almonds. Ugh, told you it's been a long time. It's pecans, not almonds. God damn. Alright, let's get this in the oven. It's fine. It's close enough. What's up? Anywho's, yeah. I am also officially tired. We're about 1/3 of the way through the semester already, so you know what that means. We got our first round of exams. Fuck, I hate exams. I already had my first bio exam on Tuesday, and then I have another exam coming up next Tuesday for sociology, and then I think I have one for criminal justice, but I'm not sure yet when that is. I know it's coming up soon, I just don't know exactly when. And chemistry. Actually, chemistry is the only class I'm currently in where we don't do regular exams, I don't think. If I remember correctly, in this class we do weekly quizzes and then one final like cumulative exam at the very end, as opposed to the 4 exams that the rest of the classes have. So, yeah, because I think if I remember correctly, all my other classes, not counting the lab, because the bio lab is considered a different class, I believe, if I remember correctly, are all, like, I think they all have about 4 exams scattered throughout the semester. So usually you have one right before midterms, one during midterms, one just shortly after midterms, and then one final. It's usually on, like, around the last day of the semester. Good news is it's not on the last day of the semester, because that would be problematic, because I have to go home because I have a doctor's appointment, and that's also around the holidays, so it's just blah. But yeah. But for some reason, my chemistry class, we don't have that, which is interesting. We have the final cumulative exam at the end of the semester, but we don't have any other exams, which is interesting. I had another class that was like that, and I can't remember which one it was. What about ethics? I think it was... Oh, Metro Studies. We didn't have any exams, like, at all, which was weird. Because, like, college courses, they love exams. Like, Jesus. But it was weird. Like, we had no exams in that class. It was just straight up, just do, like, a discussion question a week, and you're good. It was crazy. Weird. There were no exams whatsoever, which is not even... Oh no, there were quizzes. It's just weird. That would have been like an easy A, except I fucked up and I... Hold on. I can't hear myself and it's bad. I swear to God. I swear to God, it's like this, microphone has like a spring-loaded headphone jack. Anyway, so as I was saying, what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, that would have been an easy A, but I kept forgetting to do assignments. You know, ADHD problems. Damn it. Oh no, I got it. Never mind, we're good. You know, ADHD problems. That's why I have my Echo constantly reminding me. That's why I have like Finch. I just always forget to do things. Actually, I kind of freaked out a little earlier today because in my chemistry class that I'm taking currently, we usually have about 1 homework assignment a week, which, you know, is pretty standard for most college courses. I was freaking out because, like, I got a reminder from both Finch and my Echo that said, hey, don't forget you have a homework assignment due. And I'm like, oh shit, I do. I go to check. It's actually not due until next week, so we're good. We're good. We're good. So, yup. Jeez. Oh, I forgot I had that t-shirt. Hold on. I want to switch to... Oh, no. I want to do this one. And then I'll have Czar wear that one. Do that. I guess in other news, I am still currently working on a video. So, if you guys watch the update video that I did, as well as I believe the last stream I did also mentioned this. I don't remember if it did or not, but if you watch the update video, you'll probably know I'm not working. I don't have as much time to work on videos like I did over the summer because, again, college will always take priority, especially during exam seasons. So because of that, I just don't have as much time to work on videos anymore. But with that being said, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing videos. They're just going to come out at a far slower pace because I have, like, at most maybe a few hours a day to, like, a few hours per week to work on videos instead of having, like, basically all day, every day, 7 days a week to work on videos. I now really only have, like, maybe up to 5 hours a day, twice a week to work on videos. So I really just don't have a whole lot of time. So I've been trying to. Right now I'm working on a sort of outline. So my process for coming up with videos kind of goes as followed. It's, you have your outline, or at least I'm trying to do an outline now, because originally I just jumped into the script and I tend to get a little rambly. But yeah, so right now I have an outline that kind of gives an idea, as well as maybe some basic, like, here's some things you can write in the script kind of deal. I'm still working on that right now, but that's almost done. So then once that's finished, we'll then get into the script. So writing the script. Pretty self-explanatory. Once the script is written, I'll then start recording the footage that I'm going to use. I'm actually planning on doing VTubing. I mean, not VTubing, PNG tubing. Because unfortunately, this video never got published because for the life of DaVinci, it just didn't want to work for some reason. I don't know why. So it never got published. But the last video I was going to do, I noticed that there was a lot of like just empty space that I could have filled and I didn't know what to fill it with. So I had this idea of you doing something like a PNG tuber and see how that goes. So, if you don't know what like a PNG tubing is, if you're familiar with YouTubers like Saberspark, for example, who have a sort of like little character who just kind of sits in the corner or like wherever on the screen and, you know, just acts as sort of like a visual aid, that's what like PNG tubing is. Anyway, I was planning on doing that, but I'm not sure. Just because like I could do live action footage, but I don't always want to get dressed up to do so. So, especially because like it's just kind of sometimes a little too much effort. But like I felt like I need some kind of a visual, so I might switch over to like PNG tubing kind of stuff. Anyway, so as for like what kind of footage I'll grab, if I decide to do B-roll footage, kind of similar to what I did in like the doll tier ranking video, but that got screwed up because only one of the footages actually worked, yay. So something like that, or most of it is usually voice recordings. So obviously I have my mic, I'm using it right now, but what I'll do is I will open up this amazing audio program called Audacity. You have the nerve, the audacity. Anyway, so I open up this program called Audacity. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of it. But it's this great free piece of software that allows you to just record pretty much anything into it. You can edit it. You can like see each of like the different channels, so the right and left sides. It's great. It's an amazing piece of software, and if any of you guys want to get into like YouTubing or making content, I highly, highly recommend Audacity. It's a little weird to use. It does have a bit of a learning curve, but you get used to it. Anyway, so I'll open up Audacity and I'll just kind of read the script. And once the script is all read and all the takes sound at least decent, what I then do is I'll then start looking for other assets. So stock pictures, stock photos, videos. I'll just start grabbing all those. I usually make a list of like what I want to do and then I go and find it. So with the last video I was doing and then it never got finished, it never got published, that being the doll controversy video, I had like a bunch of stock pictures of dolls, I had some ads from that era. So I get all my assets, I save them on my computer, and then once I got everything that I'm ready to go with, I will then open up DaVinci Resolve, specifically DaVinci Resolve 19, which is a professional editing software and is a little bit of a pain to use. Yep, so I'll open up DaVinci Resolve and I'll just kind of place everything together. I usually kind of come up with the editing on the fly as opposed to like pre-planning it, but yeah. Which, again, speaking of things that have quite a learning curve, especially because, like, I've only been using Audacity for, like, a few months at this point. I think I started using it back in June, so, because the first 3 videos on my channel, so that was the ABCs of the LGBT video, which was, like, the first ever, well, technically the second, but the first proper video I've ever really made. And you can tell, you can definitely tell. So that video, the queer history video, and my coming out story video, which was the first like art tuber kind of thing I did. Oops, I just realized I wasn't supposed to put whipped cream on there. Oh no. It's fine, right? Anyway, so those videos were all done using a free piece of software called Clipchamp, which is owned by Microsoft. So Clipchamp is good for making like really short, basic videos. It's supposed to be used by like corporations to make things like reels and stuff, like really short form content. And I was using that for a bit, but yeah, I accidentally added whipped cream because I misread that. But the issue was that it's extremely buggy and laggy, and to a point where I just couldn't deal with it anymore. Especially because it always needed to be connected to the Wi-Fi, and you can't just, like... You can't just not be connected to the Wi-Fi, and you can't just save. That's what I was trying to say. You can't just save. There's no save button. It does it automatically, which is fine, but, like, if I want to close a project, I want to make sure it fucking saves before, you know, I close it. So all of those just combined to the fact that it just got really annoying. Which sucks, because, like, Clipchamp is so easy to use. Like, it's dead simple. But the problem is it's just so unreliable that I just had to give up. So I switched over to DaVinci because people on Reddit recommended it. I'm like, okay. See, I had heard of DaVinci Resolve before, but I thought you had to pay for it? Kind of. So there's a free version and a paid version I saw. So the free version is just the standard DaVinci Resolve, and then there's a paid version called Studio, which I'm not planning on getting the paid version anytime soon, just because, like, I don't need to, and it's $200. It's expensive. Yeah, no joke. It is seriously like $200. Now, granted, keep in mind, this studio is designed for, well, just that, like professional studios and professional YouTubers and stuff, which I am not that. Which I am definitely not that, so it makes sense. And I like how it's a one-time fee instead of the utter stupidity that is Adobe. So at least it's like a one-time fee. Oh, and actually, a lot of the features for Clipchamp are also locked behind a subscription, which I hate. But I'll give them that, at least, is it's, you know, with DaVinci, it's a one-time thing, and that's it, which I prefer. So, anyway. Anyway. But yeah, it really sucks, because, like, with Clipchamp, I love how dead simple it is. And it's, like, great to learn just how to get, like, the basics of video editing. And it has a lot of pre-made assets, which is nice, because, like, a lot of the stuff I use are pre-made, because I don't have the time, the money, or the know-how to do it myself, so... In fact, actually, in the videos that I do use DaVinci for, I have actually used assets from Clipchamp. So, but yeah, anyway, so once the video is all edited and ready to go, I'll then go ahead and render it, which depends on how long the video is, but it can usually take anywhere from about 20 minutes to, like, a few hours to... I did that backwards. I meant to do this. So it certainly takes quite a while to render everything, depending, of course, on how asset heavy the video is, how long it is, stuff like that. Most of my videos usually tend to be at least 30 minutes, so they do tend to be relatively long. That's actually pretty short by YouTube standards. They do tend to be somewhat long, so... It entirely depends on... it entirely depends on, like, the video I'm doing. The ones that have more assets do tend to take longer to render, but again, it really just depends. So yeah. But usually I can get it fully rendered within a day kind of deal. And also, the nice thing about using DaVinci Resolve is I don't have to worry about the weird format problem. So, let me give some context here. It is no secret that Microsoft really hates Apple. Like, they're full-fledged competitors, of course they're going to. Well, the thing is that with, Clipchamp, if I had a screen recording off of my iPad, which is how I do the, speed draws, like the art commentary stuff, like, if I were to do screen recording off of, like, my iPad or my iPhone or something, it wouldn't recognize it. Like, despite the fact that it is the correct format, it always had an issue with it, and it was annoying. So, I would actually, what I did for at least the first one, I don't remember if I did this for the second one, but the first, actually no, it would have just been the first one. So the first, like, art commentary style video I did, which was the My Coming Out story, where I drew the thumbnail. Yeah, with that one, what I ended up doing was, actually, hang on a sec. What I ended up doing was actually opening up iCloud on my laptop, which, funny enough, is also not a Mac laptop. It's not a MacBook. I ended up doing that, and then... So I ended up doing that, and then screen recorded the footage using Streamlabs, which is what I use for streaming and for recording footage sometimes. And I did that, and then dumped it into Clipchamp. It was annoying. Because I know, like, screen recordings off of Streamlabs do work, because I've done it before. That's how I've gotten things like custom, like, ringtones on my phone kind of deal. Okay, it's a little crooked, but it'll have to work. It's a little crooked, but it'll have to work. Also, this is gonna be the last day, because I gotta bump out. I think I have a Discord meeting in about 2 minutes. Actually, 10 minutes. It starts at 7, but I haven't gotten a formal announcement about that yet. But yeah, anyway, so DaVinci doesn't have that same problem, so I can use the screen recordings off the iPad and the iPhone, no problem. God, I love corporates hating each other. It's so annoying. Actually, it was even to a point where if I hadn't discovered DaVinci, I very likely would have gotten something like a Mac Mini or an iMac or something, like a used iMac. And I still might, just because iMovie is really, like, one of, if not the best, like, consumer-grade video editing software. That's, like, what most YouTubers use, is something like iMovie. It's just, those kinds of computers can get really expensive. Especially if I do something like the Mac Mini that doesn't come with, like, a screen or keyboard or anything. So that'd be kind of annoying. Also, I've actually never used a Mac. I've only ever used Windows. Never used Linux, never used a Mac. Actually, that's not entirely true. I have used one version of Linux, and it was the Hannah Montana Linux. I had to. And other than that, and even then I've only used it maybe like once or twice, I've never really used anything other than Windows. It's like, I've been a Windows user just my whole life. That's the thing, is I've been a Windows user my whole life, so it get really weird to, like, use Mac. Especially if I'm only gonna use it for streaming, so... I mean, not streaming, for video editing. But it would be a lot easier to transfer files over from, like, the iPad and the iPhone onto there, so yeah. But yeah, like I said, I've only ever really known Windows. I've been a Windows user literally my entire life. Well, you know what I mean. Just get this. My first ever version of Windows that I ever used was Windows 2000. Yeah, not ME. 2000. So, basically my dad has also been a Windows user since, like, Windows first came out, like, all the way back in, like, the 80s. And so, because of that, you know, my family's always used Windows. And so, because of that, like, his work used it, too, obviously. So, basically what happened is, when Windows, like, ME was the new hotness, my dad tried it and hated it so much that he actually grabbed a copy of Windows 2000 from his work, created his own, like, burned CD copy of it, and then proceeded to then install that on our family's computers. No joke, both of them. Because, believe it or not, we actually had 2 computers as well. Like, one was my dad's for work purposes only, or at least that's, you know, what we were told. And then the other one, the other computer was, like, the family computer. But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, both of them had Windows 2000 for a little while, and then I think when I was like 3 or 4 is when we switched to XP. But I did use the computer, like the family computer, a little bit when I was like 2, 3 years old, which when it still had Windows 2000 on it. It's pretty vague. Like, those memories are super faded, but I do distinctly remember them. So. And then, of course, I used to XP for quite a while, and then my dad built some new computers, like desktop computers, like full-fledged gaming machines, like best stuff you could get back in 2009. And of course, he put 7 on there. Never really used Vista until I was a bit older, just because my dad hated Vista as well, so we never got it. And it makes sense, Vista sucks. Like, I mean, it's not that bad, but Vista actually does suck. And then, when Windows 8 was first, like, made public, I guess, when it was released, you were able to upgrade from 7 to 8 for free, and so I did that. And I kind of hated Windows 8. Like, it ran okay, it was just really was not designed for... It really was not designed for PCs. It was really meant for, like, touchscreens, which was, like, it was 2011. This was, like, the new hotness. It was huge. What else? But yeah, so. And then 8.1, when that came out, I switched to that. It was better, but still not that great. And then 10, I was on 10 for quite a while, and then when I could jump ship to 11, I did that, so. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream here for today. Again, I apologize for being super duper late. It's just, pups gotta eat. I gotta head to my meeting in about 5 minutes. I haven't gotten an announcement yet, so I don't know if we're still doing it, but let's just say that we are. So, yeah, I got a meeting in about 5 minutes. I gotta bump out, so... peace, love, Roxy. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully I should get that new video